Hey, what's good? Yeah, it's Chris from Mama Richard here again to give you another gem. So, what I want to talk about today is the income streams of millionaires, and this is a big one because this is what's gonna really highlight where all my videos are gonna be around and where all my content is really gonna like mess around. Because honestly, it's all about making sure all your income streams are flowing in the right manner. And for there to be so many areas where you can make money, it's only right that we just know exactly which ones we should stay focused on, because it's already been proven to make this person successful. So why can't you be successful with these same methods? Like, yes, everybody's different, but at the end of the day, when something's proven time and time again to be like the key areas that most people actually like facilitate to become a millionaire, then why not achieve it yourself? So today, like, I'm gonna be going over like an article I read not too far long ago. But you can honestly find these type of articles all over. Literally just search up income streams of millionaires, and you're gonna be able to find like all these little articles detailing like how these millionaires make their money. The one I'm gonna be speaking on in particular is gonna be 7 Income Streams of Millionaires by Steffa Mantilla. I hope I pronounced that right, but yeah, that's the article name. So it really goes over like all those income streams to create every single zero that you have on $1,000,000, because you know a million is just 7 zeros. Really, it's just 10 multiplied 7 times to make $1,000,000. So if you have 7 income streams giving you that multiple, then you're gonna eventually become a millionaire. So now the first one that she speaks on is earned income. And earned income is basically like everybody's job, basically anybody who is earning a wage to give them their basic paycheck. So mostly everybody has an earned income, and that's that first like stream that every millionaire has, and that's just the most common stream in the world is earned income. So most of the time people like what I've heard people say jobs are referred to as just over broke, which is basically it's your income that literally stops you from being broke. That's your earned income. So 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be your only income sometimes, and most people, because not a lot of people really go that next step to really like facilitate themselves on a higher level. She describes like increasing that area, because that's another good thing about this article. Not only does she describe the areas, she also describes increasing those areas which you could make more money from. So not only does she describe like the area which is earning income, it's just a job, which most millionaires start off with, she also tells you how to like expand in that area. And it's just common sense to expand in that area. You have to use your brain over your brawn, which is basically learning new skills, learning new tasks, and just learning the job or getting more skills outside of the job in order to push yourself up and get a better earned income area. So like, let's say, hey, you're stuck working at UPS, you hate UPS, so you learn how to code, and you just learn to be a coder, and you get a coding job. Now you're coding at this big business, and now you're making 6 figures. So that's just simple ways that she says that you could branch out on your earned income and maximize that area, which is a great thing to do. Like, honestly, nobody wants to be stuck earning a simple wage when they are worth more. Because honestly, I don't think anybody can really pay you how much you really believe you're worth. But at the end of the day, you could maximize it so you can get somewhere close to it, or at least keep moving up the ladder to the point where you feel comfortable getting paid this amount. She also goes over like areas where like you could do this while doing this. So she's basically like improving it on top of improving it. So the biggest thing she said in earned income is that you could higher your wages but work less, because as you learn these skills, your workload is going to be less and less, because you're learning skills that are paid salary. Most of the time, salary just wants you to get the job done. If you can get that job done in 2 hours, you only got to work for 2 hours out of your week, because the job's already done, or until your next task comes up. So you really just work 2 hours and you're chilling, instead of working that 9 to 5, constantly having work, constantly having to do this and that because the jobs are constantly coming. With salary work, once you learn those skills to get yourself a good position, like, you're good to go. Like, you're honestly making your own schedule. You're like chilling half the time, and you're straight. To continue in her article, she then goes into dividend income, which is a big facet in earning income in today's world, because dividend income comes from your stocks and your shares you hold in a company. So that is a little bit more like brain teasing, and it can also not be brain teasing, because you can just search up companies that pay the highest dividend, and you could constantly just keep investing into those companies month after month on any stock trading app, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna see results, and it's gonna be like having a savings account but you don't have a savings account, because stocks basically function the same exact way as a savings account. I tell everybody the same thing. A savings account is literally just an account that you just don't invest yourself. Somebody else investing it for you to make your APY. Doing it yourself is basically taking control of that, and 9 times out of 10 you earn more if you really invest all of your savings into your own like stock accounts. That you have more of a risk. Like there's no like real situation saying, okay, if you lose this amount of money, we got you but covered, because you're really risking your own money yourself. There's no paperwork saying that if we lose $2,000, you still have $2,000. So that's the only risk you really assess taking it. But at the end of the day, it's a great income to have on this list, because it does earn people a lot of money on dividends and stock trading and stuff like that. Next is another big ticket item, which is rental income. Rental income is huge because honestly, I find it as one of the easiest incomes to really get into, because with property like being so available, well, kind of available, I would say, you can really get into it with multiple of your friends, and y'all can all together buy a property and rent it out. Depending on the area you live at, will determine whether or not like you're making a lot of money from these like rental properties. But at the end of the day, there's always money to be made in those areas. Like my dad has always told me that when I was growing up, that there's a lot of things that don't lose value, and property is one of those things. So when you have a house, you're supposed to treat it and care for it and always upkeep it, so that you constantly are preserving that value, because no matter what you do, it's not going to go below a certain value. So that value is always preserved, but you can always maximize that. And how she says to maximize it is by earning rental income. So just renting out your property, like having tenants and just having them pay for whatever amenities you have in the house, which is a great idea and is a great way to generate passive income. Because let's say like, oh, you're renting out your property for $2,000 a month on top of your earned income. You're making your earned income plus $2,000. Like that's great. And if you really generate that per year, then you're good to go. Like you can move that money into another property, and then boom, you're making double that amount. So that's 2,000 plus 2,000 plus your earned income. So as you like constantly get into these different areas, you're going to be generating more wealth, more money, and eventually you'll become a millionaire, like she says. Next one is kind of the more difficult one out of all of them, which is royalties and licensing. But it's really a big ticket item, because if you could think of an idea or product that you are uniquely generating, then you could just earn money off of people just using that same idea and just making money off of people just like buying into your idea. So let's say you created the water bottle, right? Just the shape of it. Anybody who creates a water bottle anywhere near that shape or does the same purpose as that shape has to pay you royalties as long as you own the patent to it. And that's just simple things that you could just think of an idea, patent it, and if anybody you catch doing that idea, you take a percentage of their sales. And that's a good way to earn like passive income on top of all the other stuff that's going on, which is great. Like she's honestly dropping a lot of keys that like we could all use and we could all like focus on, so that we could constantly keep trying to just mark off of our checklist our road to becoming a millionaire. So the next thing we have is interest, which is another easy one to get into, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of this before. Earning interest income is basically from investing into CDLs and bonds. And those CDLs and bonds, yeah, you can't touch your money, but at the end of the day, they're generating a fixed amount of interest that you know you're going to have this amount of money at this point in time. So if you do the calculations, like you could really earn a lot of money by investing a little bit of money, well, a little bit at the time, but it's a lot of money to be earned in those areas, which is very similar to stock trading, because stock trading earns you dividends and all that stuff, but it's a different way of earning your dividends. It's just different ways to influence your money to make more money for you, which is a great example on this list. Then the next biggest thing is capital gains, which I'm gonna use the home situation again. Capital gains is basically like another big ticket item where something that you own gained value. So capital gains can be used as equity in a home. Like when your home increases in value, you can see like a little equity distribution, like how much your home has changed from your initial loan amount to the amount that it is now worth. So let's say if you go from 155 to 200,000, you just made $45,000 in equity. So that means you could sell your home and you made $45,000, and that's a capital gain. As well as with stocks, like I'm pretty sure everybody knew about that whole GameStop boom. If you bought GameStop stock for like $7 and it's $200 now, you just made around $200 per stock you had. So if you had like 100 of those stocks, you multiply 200 by 100, like you have that much money now. and that's huge on capital gains. Yes, you get taxed, but at the end of the day, like, you're still walking away with a huge chunk of change, and that's a huge thing I see a lot of like successful people they take advantage of. And that's the huge reason why like real estate and stock trading is so big right now, because of just how those markets function and fluctuate. And then the last thing she talks about is business income, which is another big thing I want everybody in this channel to really think about and getting into. And when it comes to like creating a business, generating that stream of income from your own ideas, your own blood, sweat, and tears, it's gonna create just that much justifiable income for you to just go and search and achieve, so that you can honestly become that whole successful millionaire that you strive to be. Because that business income is coming from something you have created, you have prospered from, and people are looking to for your service in order to basically get through. And your business could be renting, like that could be your business income on top of the whole tenant thing, like, but it just makes it to entitled to each other. Or you could just do like trucking or something, like who knows, like it could be anything. But at the end of the day, that business, like you have to just figure out that key for it to generate income for you. And there's many like ideas out there already that you could just like take on and just create something for yourself. And then she goes on to ask you like, oh, like how many income streams you have. And that's honestly, I want to ask you guys too, like how many income streams do you guys have, and like what exactly is generating like the most for y'all? Like which one is the one that you are mainly focused on? Like even if you have one, like still tell me. But at the end of the day, becoming that self-aware, that self-sufficient is a dream for a lot of us. And the only way to get there is to really know what we are targeting. And she really lays it out for you. So at the end of the day, like I would like all of y'all to like give it a read, give it a look, and like at the end of the day, tell me like what's your take on this whole situation. Because it's great to have resources like that in this world, and it's great to have multiple people like producing like these type of like levels of like producing these revelations on like how people have already done it, so that you can do it yourself. So it's great we have that. So hopefully you guys learn something from this and take something from this and strive towards something greater than where you are currently. Because at the end of the day, everybody has the opportunity and the capability to become something greater. So why not start now?